They say charity is kindness. But to billionaires, it's strategy. You've been told that the rich give because they care, that donations are pure, that charity is selfless. But what if I told you that for the ultra-wealthy, giving isn't about generosity, it's about leverage? Today's video, The Charity Illusion, how billionaires turn giving into power, will uncover how billionaires use philanthropy as a tax shield, a PR machine, and a control lever for generations. They don't just donate, they direct, they influence, they immortalize. And if you've ever wondered how someone can give away $100 million and still pay less tax than you, this is how. Give Luxo-Life some love, and let's get started. Because behind every donation, there's always a return. They don't give back. They buy control. Most people think giving means loss, but to the rich, charity is a tool. It's not giving back. It's buying back influence, tax immunity, and public admiration. The money doesn't leave their ecosystem, it just changes form. Think of it like this. You pour money into a foundation, but the faucet still runs through your hands. You get to decide how it flows, who benefits, and what outcomes are created. The money may be given, but the power never leaves. Most people donate and feel good. That's it. The money is gone, and so is the influence. But billionaires don't give and go, they give and stay. They stay in the room, they sit on the board, they oversee the outcomes. Their money doesn't just support its steers. That's not generosity, that's governance. They move it into places where they can still control how it's spent, who gets it, and what it funds while collecting tax breaks along the way. They're not losing wealth. They're locking it into vehicles that multiply their control while minimizing their taxes. Step 1. The foundation move. The first move is almost always the same. They create a private foundation. On paper, it's a charity, but in reality, it's a tax shelter, a family office, a long-term legacy engine. They donate to entities they own and operate, often staffed by their own family or trusted executives. The money that leaves their personal accounts often lands in another bucket they still control. It's like transferring money from one pocket to another with the added bonus of applause. Bill Gates, for example, has donated tens of billions to the Gates Foundation. But the foundation's leadership includes his closest inner circle. He didn't just give up that money. He reassigned it to causes, partnerships, and narratives he believes in and controls. Foundations only need to distribute around 5% of their assets each year. That means 95% can keep growing tax-free behind closed doors. And while the public sees donation headlines, they don't see where the rest of that money is sitting. Some billionaires even park their funds in donor-advised funds DAFs for short, which technically separate the donation from the donor, but still let them decide where the money goes. The control stays. The taxes don't. And the government? It thanks them for it with deductions and influence. It's like writing a check to yourself and getting rewarded for it. They don't write checks. They write rules. Foundations aren't just vaults of goodwill. They're instruments of directional power. Billionaires don't just donate money. They use their giving to host elite galas, build name-stamped museums, and fund think tanks that shape public policy. Take Carnegie, for example. He built over 2,500 libraries, but those libraries didn't just offer books. They carried his name, his values, and his preferred narratives. It wasn't just generosity, it was messaging. Jeff Bezos pledged $10 billion to the Bezos Earth Fund, but that money didn't go to just any climate solutions. It went to the ones he chose. That's not passive giving, that's targeted influence. Every dollar they give becomes a billboard of virtue and a weapon of influence. It's not about charity, it's about controlling the conversation. They don't just show up at the table, they set the table and pick who eats. Legacy through loopholes. Most people pass on a will. Billionaires pass on power. The average person hopes their assets survive probate. The wealthy sidestep it altogether. Foundations operate long after their founder is gone, and unlike an estate, a foundation doesn't die. It doesn't get taxed. It doesn't get contested. Instead, it keeps moving, funding, directing, expanding. The founder's name lives on, etched into the walls of hospitals, stamped on libraries, engraved into the fabric of universities and cities. Zuckerberg and his wife created the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative not just to give back, but to shape the world they want their children to inherit. It's a legacy factory, and it doesn't fade. It scales. That's not charity. That's legacy engineering. That's immortality. Why the IRS doesn't fight this? Everything we've just described, it's perfectly legal. The US tax code was built to reward philanthropy. Why? Because charity creates jobs. It funds education, science, the arts. And from the outside looking in, it looks heroic. Who would dare question it? The government supports it because it lightens the state's burden. If a billionaire funds a public health initiative or sponsors STEM education in underserved schools, that's one less item on the federal budget. Politicians get photo ops, communities get checks, billionaires get recognition, write-offs, and influence. It's a feel-good machine with benefits for everyone except the taxpayer. And in a system where perception matters more than mechanics, nobody asks questions. Not the media, not the IRS, not even the public. What you were never told. This isn't a new trick. The rich have been playing this game for over a century. Rockefeller did it, Carnegie did it, and today, Gates, Zuckerberg, and Bezos are doing it too. You were told to give $100 out of kindness. They donated $100 million out of intelligence. You gave to help. They gave to shape the narrative, drive influence, and lock in long-term control. This isn't modern generosity, it's ancient strategy, but the packaging has just gotten slicker. The only difference now is that you're finally starting to see it. The real-world playbook. The Gates Foundation holds more than $50 billion in assets. That makes it more powerful than many governments. Its funding decisions impact vaccine distribution, education policy, and global food systems. But here's what matters. The public sees it as charitable. Meanwhile, the people in charge retain full decision-making control. The Bezos Earth Fund pledged billions, but every penny flows toward the causes Bezos personally prioritizes. This shapes the environmental conversation in a way that aligns with his worldview. The Chan Zuckerberg Initiative is structured as an LLC, not a nonprofit. That means it can invest, lobby, and even generate returns while still being framed as philanthropy. These aren't donations, they're strategic moves disguised as generosity. Charity isn't just about giving, it's about positioning. To the wealthy, giving isn't the end goal, it's the launch pad. It's a vehicle for shaping policy. It's a mirror for reputation. It's a shield from scrutiny. And most of all, it's a stage. When they donate, they're not emptying their pockets. They're playing chess, quietly, strategically, and always 3 moves ahead. What this means for you? So what can you take away from this? You don't need $1 billion to think like the wealthy, but you do need to understand how they think. Wealth isn't just money, it's mindset. Don't just give emotionally, give intentionally. Build structures, not just habits. Design systems, not just moments. Aim for long-term leverage, not just short-term praise. It's not about copying the rich, It's about decoding their moves and using those insights to build your own power. Even small money can build influence when placed intentionally. Think like an architect. Don't just give to feel good, give to build something that outlives you. You may not have billions, but you do have intent, and that's where it starts. Start thinking like a legacy builder. Set up a small fund, automate a portion of your income to causes you care about, and most importantly, stay involved. Track where it goes. Follow the impact. Reinvest your influence. Wealth is more than a number, it's a pattern. And the earlier you study the game, the faster you can start playing it. Quiet power isn't reserved for the elite. It's accessible to anyone willing to think like they do. The final truth? Before we close, remember this: billionaires don't stop giving because they're generous. They keep giving because it keeps working. What looks like kindness is often calculus. What sounds like generosity is often governance. And what gets praised in public is usually strategic in private. The next time you hear a billionaire announce a massive donation, don't just applaud. Look deeper. Ask why. Ask how. Ask who benefits. Because in the world of power, giving is never just giving. It's positioning. It's politics. It's permanence. So tell us, Luxo lovers, which part opened your eyes? Comment your thoughts below. We're reading every single one. Share this video with someone who still thinks charity is just about kindness. And if you're serious about understanding how the rich actually move, subscribe to Luxo-Life, where the rich get richer and the smart ones learn how. Catch you in the next video, Luxo lovers.